Hey YouTubers, it's Bruce again from Bruce's Antique Toy Corner. I brought some different cars in today. They're all tin cars. Tin cars from the 50s all the way up into the 80s. Some of them are wind-ups, some of them are friction cars. There's quite a collection of them here. I have quite a few more to show you, but I'll just start out with what I got here today. The first thing I got here is this tank is called the Thunderbolt, and what this is a friction tank, but it's actually more than that. It's actually a cap gun too that operates off rolled caps. And what this does is you open it up here and put your cap roll in here and then close it back down, and as it's moving along, it fires off these caps in there, and it just keeps going right around and firing off the caps as long as the friction part's still moving. I picked this up a couple years ago. I have the original box for it. I can't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't very much, but I thought it was really nice. From the mid-60s, made in Japan. Overall, it's in great condition. No scratches, no scuffs. Other than that, it's a pretty nice toy. This other one I got, this is an M5 friction tank from Japan, mid 1950s. Found this at a flea market, sitting on table. I don't know what I paid for it, maybe a couple dollars. I just thought the graphics was really nice on it. Like I said, it's made from a J Manufacturing, which is in Japan. And the next one I have here is an M8 tank. The little cannon's missing here, but other than that, the graphics are great on this thing. Mid-60s, made in Japan, made by the same company as the last one I showed you. I mean, if you get real close, you can see how nice a shape this thing's in, other than missing this little cannon. The next one I have is an M8 tank again, but this is in a little bit different camouflage pattern. Tin, small, not real expensive to collect. I think I got all of these maybe within the $3-4 range a piece, if that. In overall good shape, made in the 60s, made by M&B is the name of the company on it, but made in Japan. Next one I have here is a 53 Vet, made in China by MF Manufacturing. It's a friction car, still works, in overall good shape. I have 3 of these. I have 2 in blue and 1 in red. Got them on an online auction. Overall, they're in pretty good shape. Not hardly any scratches on them at all. From somewhere in the mid-60s. Overall in good shape. Here's the red one. Just about the same condition as that one. Hardly played with. Not too many scratches on it. They still work. If you push them across the floor, the friction part still works on them. I don't think anybody played with this too much. Next one I have is they call this the Jumpin' GI Jeep, and it's a wind-up, as you can see. It's made by Unique Arts Manufacturing Company Incorporated, made 4/11/1944, and it actually does work. You can wind it up and it'll pop wheelies and spin around, and this hat goes back and forth. But like I say, I make it a point not to wind these things any more than I have to, because they're only one step away from breaking. And like I said, this was from 44, so if this wind-up toy managed to make it all the way from 1944, I'm not going to wind it up and take a chance of breaking the motor in it. I can't remember what I paid for it. I think I paid quite a bit for it. I think they're going for upwards of about $100 online. These next ones I got, they're friction cars. They're woody wagons, and they work. They both work. They're made from Marx. 1950s. If you look real close, you can see on the camera there's a little bit of rust right here, but it says Marx right here. And overall, they're in pretty good shape from being from the mid 1950s. pretty clean overall, except for this little bit of rust like I showed you before right here. Overall in good shape. I got these on an online auction. I have another one here. About the same condition. Real nice on the one side. But if you look on this other side, you can see the marks a little better here. And it has rust in the same spot. So I don't know if these were laying in a box against a wall where water got on them or they got scuffed up. But they seem to be marked in the same spot. Well, other than that, it works good. It's in overall good condition. Like I said, I got these on an online auction in a pair together. And I can't remember what I paid for them, but it wasn't that much. Next one I got, this is a windup. It's a Pontiac Chief car. The only thing missing is this little Indian hood ornament that was right here, but it's a windup, and I haven't figured out what's wrong with it yet. I haven't really taken it apart and looked at it, but it doesn't quite wind anymore. But I think back in the days, in the mid-50s when this one was made, probably people wound them until they couldn't be wound anymore, and that's what breaks most of them. But if I get a chance, I'll take it apart and see if I can do something with it. But right now it's a display piece, and I only paid $5 for this at a flea market, so I thought it was a pretty good deal. Next one I have is this is a friction car. And it's a Studebaker. It's not the Lark, I forgot what they called it, but anyways, it's in overall really good shape. I got this off an online auction too, and it works real good. And this is like a promo car that you would get back in that year when you bought this particular Studebaker, because a lot of those car companies were giving out those promo cars that look less like the real size one that you just bought. And overall, it's in pretty good shape. I didn't pay a whole lot of money for this one. Like I said, everything works on it. I got a pretty good deal on it. You know, that's what I like to do. I like to get good deals on this stuff. If you can get it, you know, buy it. If you got to pay a little bit more, that's okay too. Because sometimes you can't get them, you know, you'd like to give them a lot cheaper, but you can't. But I don't think I paid too much on this. Maybe $25 or something. But otherwise, I had never seen one like this in this configuration, so I picked it up. Next one I have here is, this is a 53 Buick, and I got this on an online auction. Well, the next one I'll show you after it. The only thing missing was the hub. On the other side is the hubcap and the white wall. And these are made in Japan by a company called S&J. They make a lot of repops of these cars. But these ones are original. I managed to round them up from a guy that had been collecting them. And he said they're not repops, they're originals. Made in the mid-1960s. And overall pretty good shape. Everything works on it. The friction part still works on it and everything. And he gave me a good deal on it because it was missing a part off the back here. But otherwise, in overall good condition. This other one, 53 convertible, just like the hardtop I was just showing you. Like I said, made in Japan, mid-60s. Overall in great condition. No scratches, no scars. I don't think these two cars were played with too much. They probably sat on a shelf or something. And I just love these cars from the 50s. I mean, real cars from the 50s too. I mean, their styling was amazing. Everything made out of steel, everything heavy. I love these old cars. So anytime I get a chance to get any of these things, I pick them up, whether they be Marx or they be friction cars or they be something else. I really enjoy these old cars. This other one, 65 Mustang convertible. It's a friction car. Picked it up at a flea market. Made in China by MF, just like the two Corvettes I showed you earlier in the video. Otherwise in great condition. If you look in there, the rear view mirror is still there, the gear shifter, nothing's broke off it. I picked this up in a big flea market at an old steam engine show, and overall it's in great condition, and I think I think it was $25 or something on the thing, and I talked the gal down to $20 on it. But overall, it's in great condition. No scars or scratches. I don't think it ever got played with too much. Next one I got here is I'm assuming it's like an Oldsmobile or something along that lines. And this is really in rough shape. If you look real close, I bought this thing for pennies on the dollar off an auction. Nobody wanted it. It's pretty beat up. I just thought it would be neat for a display piece. I hadn't any intentions of restoring it or anything. But if you look underneath it, it used to have a battery in it. I didn't try to put a battery in it. It says it's made by T&N, which is a Japanese company, made in the mid-50s. Overall, you know, other than the scratches and the paint loss, it's just kind of a neat piece to put in a display case, because I hadn't seen one like it before. And like I said, I think I got it for like $7 or $8. Next one I have is made in China. It's by M&F, the same people that made the two Corvettes and the Mustang. This is a friction car, but this one, when you flip up the hood, you can see it's like a tin litho engine inside of it. And if you turn this front wheel and spin it, you can see that the fan's moving. I bought this one at a flea market, and I bought it from a guy that was actually a toy dealer, and I didn't get a very good deal on it. I think I paid $18 or $19 for it. But I just never seen one before. It's like a roadster, convertible roadster or something. Otherwise in good condition. It has a lot of them tin litho characteristics of that paint. You know, that tin litho paint they put on a lot of those older toys. And then about a week and a half later, I found this one. And this is the same way. It's made by M&F. Same thing, same motor, and when you turn it, you can see the fan turning in it when you turn the thing. Overall in great condition, just as nice as the convertible. And when I bought this, I hadn't realized it was a hard top as opposed to the other one being a convertible. And if you look real close, there's a little guy in there, if you can see him in there. It's a little rubber person. But overall in great condition. It's got a couple scratches on it, but I got this really cheap. I think I paid like $10 for this or something. But made in the mid-1960s, late 50s, early 1960s maybe. I couldn't find a lot of information on this car. You know, if somebody knows something about it, that'd be great to know. I couldn't find too much on it. Next one I have is a Mercedes gullwing sports car. It's also a friction, made in Germany by a company called L&M. Made late 50s, early 1960s. Overall in great condition. I got this on an online auction, and nobody wanted to bid on it for some reason. I got it for next to nothing. I think I got it for $4 or $5 off that online auction. And I love European cars, so anytime I get a chance to buy any European styled cars, you know, anything with a right hand drive or anything on these toys, I like to pick them up because you just don't see this stuff. I've never seen one of these before. Like I said, I got a great deal on this one. Last one I have is made by a toy company, and I'll have to pull it back so everybody can see it. I got this at an estate sale, and I was walking around and I seen it, and it looked like just a cheap tin car, and I thought, well, I started to look it over, and when I rolled it over, I see it says on the bottom of it, I'll put it up in the camera, it says limited edition of Ipswich, England vintage model car company. And this was made in the mid-60s, early 70s, and they call this the JB Balloon Tire Limousine. And if you look at it real close here, I'll try to move this stuff back so I can see it. It has little doors on it that open up, and nothing seems to be missing. And overall, it's in great condition. I paid $20 for this, and I brought it home, and it had a couple little issues. It has some paint missing on the top here. I don't know if you can see that. And then it has some paint missing on the running board here. Let me get close enough so you can see that, if you can or not. But other than that, I thought 20 bucks was great. You know, I just haven't seen any of these big tin cars like this before for $20. So when I got home, I started looking it up online, and they're going for upwards of $100. So I got a pretty good deal. And like I said, you can get some pretty good deals on this stuff once in a while. And that's about it for this video of my tin cars and wind-up cars and friction cars. I have a lot more to show everybody. Just got to get it unpacked. And like I said, I'm going to do a video in the next couple days. I've been kind of running around gathering up things too. I'm a big gatherer and a big picker, and somebody that goes to a lot of antique stores and flea markets and online auction places, and I'm out there pounding the pavement looking for this stuff because, like I said, I just love these toys. And these two cases you can see in the back when I film every time is just a couple of the many cases I have full of this stuff. But like I said, I just love this stuff. I mean, just to look, you know, you can be having a bad day and come home and just look at this stuff and just feel better about everything. I just love to have this stuff around me, and I love to collect. That's why I'm doing these videos, because I want people to see what I like to do. It's my passion. It's not a hobby anymore. It's a passion. But that's about it. And if you like the video, click like. If you want to subscribe, that'd be great. I'm thinking about maybe in a month or so, depending on how many subscribers I got, which isn't really a lot, but maybe giving away some of this stuff. I have a lot of cars, and I'm getting to a surplus point where I got to start either selling some of these off or giving some of them away. And if I got, you know, some subscribers that give me some comments or something and like this stuff that I'm doing, maybe I'll be giving away some of this stuff. I have a lot of real nice stuff, and I have a lot of nice starter things for people that are just starting up collecting. And I have a lot of nice stuff for people that are already big-time collectors. But that's all. This is Bruce from Bruce's Antique Toy Corner, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.